Okay, so Atlas Shrugged. There's so much to say about it, especially for me, because this was like my first philosophy book, my first political book that I read when I was 15 in high school, and I just kind of dove into everything else from here, starting with this. So this is probably the most influential book that I have ever read because it was the start. It was the start of everything that got me to read so much. So I can say that as a positive review. I really enjoyed the book, but as for who's going to enjoy it, that's what I want to focus on. Like, who's really going to enjoy this book? And you do have to have a certain mindset, I think. Like, if you're reading the book for philosophy, if you like philosophy, you will enjoy this book because that's all it is. This is a philosophy book wrapped up in a novel. Like, it is a novel meant to convey philosophy. Everything has a purpose. Everything is objective. It's pretty clear which characters are good and which are evil and why they're good and evil because there are tons of characters that give speeches in their book. Henry Reardon gives a speech. John Galt gives a speech. Like a lot of the protagonists, they all give speeches on why they believe what they do. So if you're a fan of like more philosophy stuff, of the kind of literature that has a real message behind it, then you'll enjoy this. Now, I don't really like literature because it's too much of there's 89 different correct answers to certain things and it's all up to the reader to decide what they think it means. I hate that. Like, I want something that is laid out in front of me and said, here's some symbolism, but the symbols are clear. The symbols are obvious. Like, I don't have to really think about what does this represent. It's not just a pure textbook of philosophy. It's a story, but the symbolism is very obvious, which is what I enjoy. Like, it's very clear what the people represent. It's very clear her message that she's trying to give. So that's why, like, it's kind of I would think literature fans would enjoy this, but it's very easy to understand, which I do appreciate. And now, second, some people might be reading this for just trying to understand her philosophy. Maybe they've heard good things about Ayn Rand, and maybe they want to like really figure out what she means and dive into her stuff, or they're kind of neutral. Maybe they don't really like Ayn Rand, but they want to know about it. They want to read it to understand it, not necessarily to enjoy it. It's one of those books on your list that everyone tells you to read, so you're like, fine, I'll sit down and read it. In that case, if you're just out to understand her philosophy or understand her as a person, then I wouldn't really read this book. If you're trying to save time, of course. If you're trying to say 1,000 pages is too much, then For the New Intellectual is just excerpts of some of the speeches from this book, some of the fiction, and also some of her nonfiction. And what was it called? Goddess of the Market by Jennifer Burns is a book on her life. So if you're like 1,000 pages is too much, and I want to understand objectivism, read that stuff. But as for a story, like, I really enjoyed this story. It's just a fantastic story because it's, again, there's a morality behind it, and it's a lot of just the people are in it. Like, it's a book for creators. It's a book for people that like to create stuff. They're very creative, and they just have this outlook on life that's like, this is the world, this is what I want to do with it, this is how I want to experience it. And that's what it's about. Like, it's about people that want to do great things and other people that seek to do nothing but destroy or out to stop you. It's like what kind of mindset do you have? Are you a creator, or are you someone that, like, you look at people with mansions and you're like, you see that as you envy them, you see that as a bad thing? That's basically it. Like, that's the best I can describe it, that if you have that mindset of I want to build something, this book will speak to you. So I went a little bit over time, but let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed the book, or if you didn't enjoy the book, let me know either way why. Leave a comment leave a comment below. Subscribe for more 3-minute reviews and other stuff, and thanks for watching.